It is now Friday at 6:30 in the p.m., and of course, this is U.S. Representative Danny Davis coming to you with a report from Washington, District of Columbia, but also coming to interact. I know that we've been away for a while. We've been missing the opportunity because we don't always finish up. Our work in Washington usually is if we go in on a Monday, we leave on a Thursday, and oftentimes we don't get to Chicago until Thursday evening. If we go in on a Tuesday, then we leave on Friday. Some Fridays we will leave around 1 o'clock, and if that happens, then I get back to Chicago, and I'm here then from that moment until Monday. Then I go right on back to Washington, D.C., and of course things have changed a little bit because we no longer are in control of the House of Representatives as a result of the election, and we always say that elections have consequences. The Republicans now are in control of the U.S. House of Representatives, so they put the schedule together. Whoever's in the majority do the schedule. But I just mentioned that, but don't worry about it because we are going to be here as often as we can. And today, I'm going to not talk that much about Washington because we've got so many things going on in the city of Chicago. And for those of you who don't know it, the city of Chicago is still one of the most interesting, one of the most exciting, one of the most delightful, and one of the most important cities in the United States of America. We don't have as much population as we used to have. That has certainly changed some things, but we still are the number three largest city in the United States of America. That's big time. I have in the studio with me two young people who are running for an office. Now, every office is different. Every office does not do the same thing. The reason these offices are important is we live in a country that has a great deal of opportunity for people to help make decisions. I think one of the most important desires that exist in a free and democratic society is the idea that all of us can come together to decide what that society does. For as long as there has been a country, there have been people trying to improve the way law enforcement operates. We don't have enough time to really dig into the history of law enforcement. There are lots of people who say it was designed to do different things. Law and order is necessary, but misuse, abuse, and oppression is something else. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I know that lots of people have been excited today because some law enforcement officials in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, were fired from their jobs, indicted for murder, and they were black, as a matter of fact. And so Chicago has been trying to move. I am a firm believer in what I call citizen review. And there are some of us who've been talking about that for 40 years. I've been talking about it for 40 years, ever since I've been publicly engaged and publicly involved, thinking that the more people who are involved in making decisions, the more likely those decisions are to be more reflective of a broader point of view. So, Ms. Green,
Yes.
welcome, and we are delighted that you're here. Would you introduce yourself to our audience? And then I've got a few questions I'd like to ask you.
Thank you, Congressman Davis, and I am delighted to be here. My name is Angelica Green. I'm running for 25th District Council for the 25th District Police.
25th District Council. First of all, tell me, what is the 25th District?
The 25th District range from Division all the way to, all the way back to like Fullerton, then Harlem to Armitage. It covers a wide
So
range.
it's Harlem on the west,
Yes,
Armitage going north, is that correct?
yes,
And from Division south
yes.
and east to what?
East to Central. So,
To central.
yes.
All right, so that's a big piece of territory. And the people who live in that area have the opportunity to vote for you to be a member of this council to do what?
To be an advocate for the community. So now the community can voice concerns regarding police accountability against police brutality, concerns that they may have with police coming into their neighborhoods, making sure that the right police are there. So hosting forums with our community to address whatever issues that they may want to have on the table when it comes to the people who protect our neighborhoods.
Would you say that the policemen themselves are advocates as well?
I believe some are. Some have not been. They are from my police have been used to police. So they have not. This is the first time ever this law has been passed, and Illinois is the first one to pass the law where they'll have district council, and it's another oversight for the police department. Therefore, police have not been, from what my understanding, most of them are not as receptive to this new position. So there's been FOP who's put people in position to kind of oppose this role that people have fought very hard for us to have.
You mean the FOP does not want these councils to exist?
I believe that they want their people in there so they can have more say. It would be the same. Whereas this position was created for the community, so the community can have a safe space, so they can have a say in in accountability, not just
Is
FOP.
the FOP supporting any candidates?
Yes,
Or they have their own slates?
they
and
have their own.
their own people that they are attempting to put on the board or the council?
Yes.
Are you one of them?
No, I'm for the community. I'm running under ECPS, who actually got this law passed, this bill passed where it's on the ballot. So a man named Frank Chapman, who did a lot of work to get, along with the rest of the coalition, who worked very hard to get this passed after the George Floyd murders and the murder and other things where our police were found to not be held accountable in actions against Black and brown people. So no, I am not. I am a community member and ambassador and organizer.
And so how many people will be elected from each district?
Each district, there are 22 districts in Chicago for police district. There'll be 3 people elected for each district.
And then all of these people will come together and make up the whole board for the city.
That's correct. And then we'll nominate commissioners. And there'll be 7 commissioners that sit on the seat.
And those individuals, will they replace anything that already exists in terms of oversight of the police department?
The commissioners have a say in hiring and firing of the superintendent. They have a lot of power that they'll be given when they're in these roles.
So you and your colleagues, once elected, will report to the commissioners.
That's correct.
and then the commissioners will sit with the police board
Yes.
and interact with the mayor and influence the ultimate decisions relative to who the superintendent is, but also will you have any authority relative to firing law enforcement officers for misconduct?
Yes, they will be able to hold police accountable.
All right, and so that I can get your colleague in, what are you asking people to do?
I'm asking people to get out and vote. If you're doing early voting, please vote for Angelica Green, punch 73. And if you're voting on February 28th, election date, please get out and vote. Again, Angelica Green, punch 73.
So you're saying, help me to be
Please help
punch
me.
73.
Please help me to represent my community.
All
So,
right.
do the right thing and vote Angelica Green.
All right. So, sloganeer is a part of this activity. And let me thank you. And then we'll slide Mr. Andre Rudiger in and see what he's got to say
Thank
about
you,
all of
Congressman.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Then,
Just sit in.
yes, come right in.
Fix them up for you. Oh, right now.
Would you introduce yourself to our guests?
Hello, everybody. My name is DeAndre Rudis. I am a candidate for the 15th Police District Council.
So you are running for the exact same thing, but in a different area.
Yes, I am, sir. Yes, sir.
Could you give us the boundaries of the 15th district so that people will know whether or not they live in it and whether or not they can vote for you?
Absolutely. So the 15th district covers from Roosevelt to Division, from Austin to Cicero.
Oh, that's a wonderful area. I live in that area.
The entirety of the Austin community, absent some of the pieces that the 25th district picks up. Absolutely.
So I can vote for you
Absolutely.
if I so
It would be one of the greatest things that happened in my life if my congressman vote for me.
Well, and can I vote for you and how many other people?
So, as Angelica said, there's going to be positions available for 3 candidates to be selected.
So there are 3 candidates. How many people do you know are running?
There are 7 candidates that are running in our particular race.
Okay, so there are 7
Yes, sir.
candidates, but you can only vote for 3
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
All right.
The best 3.
So I'm going to be voting for 3 of them. Now, why should people vote for DeAndre?
People should vote for me because I'm a child of Austin. I grew up in the Austin community since I was 8 years old. I'm 35 now. I graduated from Hal Douglas in Austin.
How element? They
Yes,
still
sir.
got those green jackets.
They still are Jets as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
I got one.
Oh, man, come on.
I've had it for at least 20-some years.
Come on, man.
It's a little windbreaker.
Man, listen. So
Absolutely.
you understand. So I'm a child of Austin. I stood up for the community the first time in 2012 when Trayvon was killed, and I haven't sat down since. I've done a lot of work in the regard of joining an anti-violence rally, becoming a mentor, teaching in the community at this point. I mean, in 2018, I started a program with Steve Robinson of Northwest Austin Council, which, again, you're familiar with, in which we build better relationship between police and community and utilize the resources and organizations and people available to us to problem solve so that we can help with crime in our community. And so I just want to continue that work that I've already started and that I've grown into and do that with the district council. Yes, we want to rid the city of all of the bad apples, all of those that create injustice against our community, brutality, unwarranted acts of violence. They need to get taken care of promptly. But those that want to work with us, we want to work with them.
Well, I know that you understand and know what to do because
sir.
I know that you come from an activist family. I'm saying some people are fortunate in that a part of their heritage, which allows them and help facilitate their understanding
Mm-hmm.
of community. You come from that kind of family, that kind of environment,
Mm-hmm.
and I've known your family for a long time. I also understand that you're somewhat of an academician,
Yeah.
that you are about to finish work for a doctoral degree.
Yes, I am. Yes, sir. We are a pinky toe away from IRB. So we'll have my PhD in business psychology in July. I walk across the stage.
Well, let me just congratulate you for that, because knowledge is very important, and learning helps one to realize how important these things are. It really does.
I agree.
I mean, some people don't get as much of it as others, but my father used to tell us that the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know.
That's the
And
absolute
he
truth.
was a great philosopher. He never finished more than the fourth grade, but he had all these
Man.
sayings that he could come up with, and we never could figure out. And so, what are you doing? I know I've seen some signs out. um, how are you trying to make sure people know that this activity is taking place?
Angelica and I, we almost partners in crime here, right? Because one of the things that we want to show people is that when we become newly elected, we can work together already. So her and I were actually at a senior function today that Westside Health Authority put together, a senior social. So we went there. We went to Emma Mitz's office just yesterday, spread the word. We're here today together spreading the word. We're going to be at the forum tomorrow spreading the word. And we're going to be hitting the doors and putting our signs out. We were putting her signs out today. My signs are already out, and we're going to hit those doors. So we're doing everything that we can in order to reach the population, because the media isn't allowing us to be heard right now. They're not showing that these district councils exist, you know. But when we get there and we start doing that work, they'll understand the importance. I don't know if they know right now, but they will, because we're coming.
Well, it gives us a good opportunity also to express appreciation to people like Jackie Reed, because before Jackie Reed thought up the Westside Health Authority, there was no Westside Health Authority, which could have had a forum today, because it did not exist until Jackie Reed thought it up and developed it, organized it, and now they do outstanding work in the community, doing a variety of things. And so we are delighted that Jackie Reed and now her family, she kind of roped them into saying, even after her son went away and went to school and got himself a law degree and all that kind of stuff, she said, you got to come back here and work in the community.
Listen, our community will be 100 times better if the individuals from it came back to it. We need to do re-gentrification, and we won't have to worry about gentrification.
Well, we always urge young people to come back and be a part of the environment that they come from. And rather than bemoaning and groaning what is not, create what can be.
Absolutely.
And so I commend Morris and his sister for being a part of that. Now, if people want to really know how they can help do this, is there any way they can reach out and reach you and say, hey, we want to help you do this. We want to help spread the word. We want to help people know that voting, for example, only takes about 5 minutes.
It doesn't take that long at all.
And people who don't vote, they really ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
because they are abdicating
Yeah.
a part of their citizenship responsibility.
Yeah.
We often talk of rights, but we don't talk as much about responsibilities. And so if you don't vote, you're basically saying either you don't understand or you don't care.
You know, one of the things that I learned from you, from the show that we have, the podcast that we do on Sundays, is you either make a decision or get decided for. I think that's the best way to put it. You either on the table or you how it go. You either the table or you're on the menu. You either at the table or you're on the menu.
Because if you're not there,
Yeah.
you're not helping decide.
Yeah.
Then you have to accept whatever it is that somebody else comes up with.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the things that we are trying to do when we get in and as we're moving towards getting in is educate the people. So we understood that we had to educate them about this position, but we also got to educate them about the reasons why they need to go out and support us. You know, to that end, I'd like to say to support me, you can go to DeAndreRudis.com, and my name is spelled DeAndreRutus.com, and you can go to Angelica Green at Angelica Green 25th. That's ANGELICAGREEN 25th.com. And you can find out more information about both of us, and you can help support us because we need it. We want to spread the word about the district councils, and we want to make sure that the best people are representing the community, and that's us.
Well, you know, I look forward not only to your being elected to this council, but also to you moving. I knew Barack Obama before he was elected to anything. And I saw him go from not being elected to becoming president
Wow.
of the United States of America. And he started somewhere. I knew Bill Clinton when he was a governor and saw him rise from that to becoming president. And the interesting things about both of them, neither one of them necessarily came from any wealthy family. They didn't have a whole bunch of money. Nobody knew anything about them. I mean, you know, I mean, they were who they were, and they rose to the point of becoming who they ended up being. And I think that you and Angelica and other young people like yourselves, you start at one point.
Yes.
And you keep moving and moving and moving. And you help make the decisions that hopefully is going to make Chicago a better city.
Yeah.
And the world a better place in which to live.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. First of all, to be mentioned in the same breath as President Barack and President Clinton is very humbling. So thank you. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I think we could fit that bill. I also want to say in Angelica's haste, I think she mentioned the boundaries of the 25th. So I wanted to clarify a bit. So the 25 goes from Harlem to Central Park division to Belmont.
All right, so Central Park, that's way down.
Yeah, so it's a lot larger than you could imagine. And so I just wanted to make sure that I cleared that up a little bit because I do know she was a little hasty and kind of got cut off a little bit at points.
All right. Well, let me thank you both because we're going to have a lot of activity coming up during the month of February. We're going to have a town hall on February the 16th at 5610 West Lake Street. And, of course, you as well as everybody else are invited to attend and be a part of that discussion and make your point. And so we want to thank Hotline 21. We want to thank Chicago Access. the great cable opportunities we have in the city of Chicago. So until then, do something good for yourself and something even better for somebody else. And if the good Lord bless and the river don't rise, we'll see you next Friday at 6:35.
All right. Root for Rootis, Punch 71.
All
Do the right thing. Vote for Angelica Green, Punch 73.
Thank you both very
Thank
much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you,
All right.
Congressman.
It is.